Is this thing on?
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Can't believe I missed this. Who's there?
Abby.
Abby who?
Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, I hate myself for that one.
That's so bad.
And it's the worst.
It's the worst one yet, no doubt.
It is for real, but we're coming back with a bang.
What a way to, ring in the new year. That joke, man. It really did it.
Yeah, I apologize for that one.
Yeah.
Podcast number 17,
Woo!
2022.
That was
Says a beardless man.
Yeah, I was telling Doug, I wonder if he'll be talking more because there's less to weigh down his jaw.
That's right.
Yeah.
You never know. Seems to work for you.
Whoa! Way to steal my joke and throw it right back at me.
What is going on? It has been, seems like forever since we've been yapping.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In fact, even over the holidays, you didn't even harass me that much at all.
Yeah.
So this will be good. This will be our catch-up podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, we took a hiatus. We were working probably, right? And vacationing and all the things that you do around the holidays. What about you? What did it look like? Well, first of all, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a lovely, I'm not a big flavored coffee guy.
Yeah.
But in this case, I went to the Little Red Roaster and I picked up some Bavarian chocolate.
That sounds
Now,
good.
it is actually really good. The chocolate's like, don't think chocolate milk. It's just a very hint of chocolate, but no, very good stuff. The Little Red Roaster. That's your neighborhood coffee shop. It says on the bag, and it's 100% biodegradable, compostable bag.
I like that.
That's very important. Anyway, freshly ground. It's good stuff. How about you?
Well, let's say this first. I want you to admit to something that you started doing with your coffee. It's instead of just the normal espresso.
Oh, so part of my excitement over the holidays was I got a few different gadgets. I got like I guess you know what a Chemex is?
Mm-hmm.
The glass thing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I got kind of a knockoff Chemex, not the name brand one. And I got another thing, but I ended up 95% of my coffee now is just simple pour over into cone.
Yep.
Single serve coffees, and it's fantastic.
We call it a V60, and it's a little cone. Well, we don't call it that, but someone does.
Mine is a little Melita cone, but it's beautiful. So I should say too that I have been weaning myself off my espresso due to my stomach rebelling against me.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm drinking good coffee in the morning. It's fantastic.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got?
This is it's just Allegro. It's another just sort of Amazon special. It's more of a thing of laziness than anything else, but it's good. It's like a medium roast, maybe medium dark roast, which I know that's kind of sacrilegious in like the real coffee snob world, but I like the darker and the medium roast. I like my coffee to be dark and taste dark.
Does anybody like a light roast?
Oh, dude, that's the future of coffee. All the coffee shops that roast their own beans, I feel like they're all light and medium roast. Yuck.
Yuck.
But
so yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's
it. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
No, you first.
Okay, I'll just say it, not to preclude ourselves from any future coffee sponsorships here, but
that's right.
Yeah, no, we're still open to trying things. If you're a coffee roaster and you think you've got something worth giving a shot, send it to us.
There you go. That's a good plug.
Yeah,
I'll drink fancy coffees from around the world.
Yeah,
since we're global.
That's right. That's right.
Silly internet. But yeah, I'm hot as the blazes. One sec. I gotta take off my new
Whoa!
coffee and carving.
Man, I knew you were looking good for some reason.
Zip up hoodie. I like it actually.
Man, yeah. I like that design on there. You got the royal blue one. That's an interesting choice. I've not seen that one yet.
And I'm not even a fan of blue. I have very little blue in my life, but yeah, it was either that or red. So I went with the blue. But look at the back of that thing.
Yeah,
that
is sweet.
That's a logo.
Yeah. Yep. So nicely done, Joshy Josh.
If I can, I'll butt in right off the bat on that subject, though.
Yeah.
If you were so inclined to pick up our shirts or our merch, please do so using the link that we will provide in the description, because I got ripped off over the holidays.
What do you mean?
I got my shirts were being sold by another company, like my logo with Camp Carve and coffee,
okay,
written on it, and yeah, someone stole it and they were selling it. We got a couple of emails really early on December that someone asked if I condone these shirts, or if they can, where to get those shirts, because some guy was showing his on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
And then he provided a link, and it wasn't my company.
What?
That I make shirts with. Yeah.
Was it a newer shirt design, or?
It was actually last summer's design. It was the Woody character, which is now basically me. Yeah. And it said Camp Carve Coffee on the down the side. And yeah, so I got cloned and ripped off. So that was disappointing. Especially, you know, I feel the worst for the guy who bought it. Was so happy that he got a shirt, and then to find out that he bought a bootleg shirt.
Yeah, what a disappointment.
So but on the same note, I contacted the company and proved that it was mine, and they immediately deleted it. So it's not like a small company that they did.
Yeah,
the work was submitted and they made them for them. So
right, that's good.
But yeah, that's just a good public service reminder to please buy through the links provided, not other than.
Right. Don't go searching coffee and carving on Google and find some Joe Schmo who's, you know, panning off
because
his works as ours.
Yeah. As wonderful as the internet is, I have been ripped off in just about every area of life at this point. Right. Whether it be carvings or complete videos, and I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Somebody posted something on Instagram the other day. I mean, this isn't the same thing, right? Nobody stole anything from me except for my intellectual property, which still got me kind of going. This is big. I don't know, 36,000 followers on this wood carving page. And then this guy just posts everyone else's work, doesn't tag him until they holler at him. And so I had to holler at him and be like, hey, take this down or tag me in it. It was just.
Is that the one that I sent to you?
No, there's another one. And thankfully, another guy came in and said, you know, hey, you did this, you know, this is not your work. You didn't do this. So anyway, long story short, people like to take credit for things that aren't theirs.
Yeah, no, I'm all for those sharing sites as long as you're tagged and you know, highlighted. But yeah, that happens a lot, that people just take pictures and wood carving and no credit given. So but what's worse than that are like my whole video library is in China making money for somebody. I found that the other day too. Oof. That's sad. Yeah. But anyway, let's stay positive.
Yeah. Welcome to the new year.
Woohoo! What we've got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, no.
Let's what have you been up to? Let's start with Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
We it's funny because when we signed off last time, I thought we were only a week before Christmas, but we were actually 2 weeks before Christmas. So we had a bigger break than I anticipated or thought out properly, I guess you could say. Right. But so yeah, we had some time before Christmas and a little bit after. So I'm sure we've got lots to talk about. So Go for it. What is your, let's hit Christmas right off. What's your Christmas ritual, or what did you do this year?
Well, it kind of changes, but usually there's the obligatory family stuff, right? And that's usually, my parents' house. And so this year it was at my parents' house. The New Year's Eve thing was, at least. And then from there we took my grandma, which I wanted to say firstly, I sound like this because
Yeah, good point.
I have a cold. So excuse me. But uh it's all good. I got tested for COVID and it's came back negative. I know that the new tests, or that the new variant, is not as detectable using the tests that we have. But regardless, I'm quarantining, staying at home. I've been home for the past few days. And yeah, so then we just went to from my parents to my girlfriend's church, where her dad is the pastor. And so I was a fill-in photographer, which is hilarious. I wore a black, I wore like all black and shoes. And I called my friend because I was nervous. Apparently their photographer was unable to show up. I think there was a death in the family.
Oh,
And they said, basically talking to Annalise, would your boyfriend be interested in taking photos? She said, maybe, I don't know. And so they had me take the photos. But the best part was I called a friend and I said, what do you think I should, any advice you want to give for this sort of thing? And he said, oh yeah, no, definitely don't hesitate to get up in people's faces. Don't hesitate to move around the room to get the shot. People won't notice you. People don't care. And
yeah.
so I went and I really did. I used my zoom lens. I got right up in people's faces, and just about every single time I held the camera up to a person's face, zoomed in tightly, and pressed the shutter, they just look over at me like deer in the headlights. What was that? And so almost every photo I got of people up close was of them looking like that. So Ben's advice, or
Nice.
excuse me, someone's advice was I was probably doing it wrong, right? Like I should have had the shutters off, and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off in the mode that I was using. And anyway, not a photographer.
So, okay, you're not a photographer. So do you have much camera experience?
Well, I mean, I've been taking videos of myself and pictures of flowers since I was 10 years old, right? I wanted to be a photographer when I was, I don't know, yeah, around that age, 11 or so. And so I saved up my money and bought myself a camera at Costco for $400. And then I'd just go around taking pictures of bugs and flowers and plants and macro shots. And I'd sit in the weeds waiting for a great blue heron to fly into the pond in the front yard, because we grew up on 10 acres. And so, yeah, I thought I was going to be a nature photographer. So,
Well, because this is what I know about photography, and I'm imagining, I don't know if I'm speaking for you, but Christmas Eve services, candlelight, low light,
oh yeah,
perhaps not
yeah.
not bright lit up.
And that was the
So
thing that made it tough. Is
yeah,
what I did learn is this: the Tamron was a 35 to 55, I believe. No, 28 to 55 is not. It's an awesome lens, but it's not the best in low light. I had a 20 millimeter Sony lens f 1.8, and that was a beast. Having that lower aperture, it was excellent. So all those tight shots, they worked out pretty well, but the ones that looked really nice and clear and the ones they ended up using most of were these larger, wider shots from that native Sony lens. So
yeah.
there's your nerd, there's your
Well,
lens nerd stuff.
your lens nerd stuff. Well, I say that because I have a very expensive camera, and I am so stupid. I couldn't take a decent picture in low light to save my life. I remember one time I was up at Sean James's cabin, and he taught me how to take pictures of the stars. Like I have a Canon
Cool.
80D, which is a decent camera, and he taught me how to take the moon and the stars, and I had silhouettes at night of the trees and stuff. And I basically had to reset my camera to factory settings just to get back to auto, and I couldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't have that learning ability that I mean, if I practice makes perfect, but
Yep.
I always just take video, so it's like
that's exactly it.
pictures are a secondary thing. So
yeah, and so it's totally, for me it was the same way. Like I just could not get the three, there's your f-stop, your shutter speed, your f-stop is also aperture, and then your light, your artificial light, which I'm ISO. And so I would always get those three messed up or forget one or not know what it did. And I still am by no means an expert in it, but I'm learning about it. So I can at least get my way around a camera halfway decent. But no, for this, I was totally in auto mode the whole time because it was so dark and I wasn't about to try and mess with all those settings.
So you passed, you got some decent pictures?
Yeah, they had one picture in mind, and they needed me to be up on stage from the back with the pastor and his wife, looking out into the crowd with the little candles that were lit up, as they do with the Christmas Eve service. And I think I got it. So
nice.
It was funny that right as I was standing up there looking into the crowd, this balcony, because it was a big church. I mean, this balcony was decorated with these Christmas lights, and one of those strands all the way around this half of the building went out right as I was about to take the picture. And I mean, right as I was about to take the picture. Cal was like, we need somebody to get to those lights if that's possible. We thank you so much. And then of course they didn't get him back on, so I had to take pictures from the right angle so that you couldn't tell that these lights are out. Figures.
Well, I had a very quiet Christmas. Yeah. Well, again, we're right in the heart of COVID business again. It's just going crazy here again. And we just entered, I don't know, phase 2 again. So we're down to maximum 5 people together and everything. Restaurants are shut. But anyway, so my parents are a little bit older, obviously. And we brought them a meal. But we didn't stay because they have concerns, and you don't want to kill your parents on Christmas. Then I went to my son's house. He hosted Christmas this year, and it was great. My daughter brought a wood-fired pizza oven. Ooh. So very non-traditional but fantastic pizza party Christmas.
Nice.
So my grandkids and my kids and everybody made their own little pizzas and put them in this little pizza oven. And boy, I tell you, I want one. Now I really want one, but I don't really want one. To me, it's so fun, but it's just one of those things that becomes an event. You just don't come home from work and say, I'm going to make a pizza. It's an event. It's like smoking a roast or whatever, or a wood-fired sauna, like everything. There's so much prep time and stuff. So I know I want one, but I really don't want one. But I want my daughter. I think I just want my daughter to invite me over for pizza parties more often, maybe. There you go, Bailey.
I like it.
Over. She'll never listen to
this. And me too. While you're at it, invite Alec over too.
Yeah, or not.
I'll take some pizza.
But that was fun. Very non-traditional. I'm over turkey. I don't need to have a big turkey or a ham. I think a little wood-fired pizza hit the spot perfect. And of course, Sophie had to go overboard making all her Christmas goodies and stuff. And I always tell her not to, but she does anyway. And I'll be eating them into June. But anyway, but that was basically Christmas. We don't, like I said, most of the family had to stay away from each other, and just my immediate family, and it was nice, really nice. Right. So, yeah. But
what about
oh, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, what did you do? What did New Year's look like for you?
Oh, very small. Went to my brother's house. It was kind of fun. We dug up photo albums, which I probably haven't seen in decades.
Wow.
He had old photos, and we looked at old photos. I'm the baby of 4 boys.
Yeah.
And we grew up in on the edge of town, a little hobby farm, and always fishing and playing in the bush and stuff. So there's lots of fun, different pictures and stuff, and my old neighbors and stuff. So that was good time. But that was it. I think we stayed there. They have a hot tub, so we were out in the hot tub. But 1:30 or so in the morning, I told my wife, I said, I'm done, I'm going home. And they were good to go all night. I'm like, nah, I still have to get up in the morning. So yeah, that was it. How about you?
Well, for me, it was visiting my excuse me, gosh, the girlfriend's friends are over in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I went there, and we stayed actually with some friends of mine who are shout out to Brad and Anna Wall Woodworking. Another fun fact about them in a little bit, but anyway, I stayed with them, showed me the projects he was working on, and making a really cool desk. And out of walnut, he did this cool drawer pull where instead of having a little something that sticks out to grab onto, it just has a cutout. Familiar with something like IKEA would do this, where there would be like a
European, yeah.
Yep. And so the edges, instead of having like a wood edge banding, he charred or used it like I think it was a black paint to create this black border along the wood, and it actually looked really sweet. So hung out with him for a night, and Annalise, my girlfriend, got to meet Anna, so that was confusing. Anna Leia and Annalise, the German names got confusing, but then went to visit Annalise's friend Emily, and we went to Mall of America, and that was an utter nightmare for me because I hate walking in malls, and that's the biggest mall of all time apparently. So
really,
oh, there literally is an amusement park with like a roller coaster and all these full-sized amusement park rides. It's huge.
Wow, yuck.
Thank you.
That sounds like a nightmare.
So walked around there. It's probably where I got my sickness from, hanging around all those people, those crowds. And anyway, long story short, spent some time with her friends, and it's always a little bit harrowing when you meet new people, and especially when there's a weight of hope that everyone gets along kind of a thing. The girlfriend wants you to get along with her friends, and sure enough, it was super fun. They were very kindred spirits, and we made silly jokes and bounced balloons off the wall and made weird games up and just messed around the whole 2 days. And then I got sick, and we drove home, and the rest is history. So I visited another friend while we were there, Franklin Drum Company, a co-owner, along with Stephen Curtis Chapman, the Christian singer songwriter. His son Will and my buddy Tim King, co-owners, along with one other person of this drum company. So visited them.
Like music drums.
Yeah.
Oh, and what were they called?
For some reason, it just escaped me. I just said it, and now it's escaping me. It'll come to me in a second. If not, I'll just check Instagram. But anyway, yeah, that was good. They used to be called Risen, and for some reason now that's stuck in my head, the visual. And I had it again. Franklin Drum Company. That's right. Yeah, Franklin Drum Company. So they're blowing up. They're doing really well.
What are the shells made of? Are they still wood, or are they laminated, or is it?
Yeah, no, these are the high end ones. So they're done with they're done with a combination of, they are laminate, but they're intentionally done so for sound, right? So there's they have maybe black walnut around the outside, and then birch to soften the sound, make it warmer, and then another band of birch on the or walnut on the inside, or whatever. Fill in your whatever hardwood, birch or maple.
Nice.
So mahogany.
That would actually be fun.
Yeah, it was actually.
Not that you have to have any knowledge of drums, but I've never seen anything like that.
Right. So no, Annalise was nice enough to let me peruse this factory for quite a while, just walking around, nerding out, finding out how this is all done. So it's cool.
Wow. What have we been up to anyway? I think on the last podcast I talked about Christmas presents. Did you get any fun Christmas presents?
I got this shirt, so I'm showing it off.
There you go.
Yeah, I like it. It's a nice shirt. It's like got this corduroy thing on the inside. And what else did I get? I got a battery pack for camping, which is nice. I like it a lot. Sort of like plug in stuff to it, but I burned it out when I was trying to show it off to Doug. I called him and showed him, and
oh, that's right.
Yeah, I blew it up trying to plug a drill into it. It was just a little bit too powerful for it.
Did you return it?
I haven't yet. It's sitting in a box over here, but.
Well, I bring up Christmas presents because I think the last podcast I talked about some of the things that were coming my way, one of which was the light phone, which was my Christmas present.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going to go 1 year with my dumb phone,
Yep.
and that lasted about a day and a half.
Mm.
The light phone, I was very excited. What are you showing me there? A nice bug on your tissue?
Stink bug was on my tissue.
Like came out of your nose? So the light phone came, and I was all excited. Loaded all my contacts in, did all the stuff online that I had to do, and was texting everybody I knew, and was all excited. But then it would ring. Somebody would call me. I'd answer, and the phone, the call would drop.
What?
So then I call them back, and they'd answer, and the call would drop.
Huh.
And this went on for like a day and a half. And I'm like, well, obviously it's not people being out of reach or whatever. There's something. Anyway, so I did my research, and it's a common issue in Canada with some of our cellular providers that they don't all work.
Can you just imagine the inventor of the light phone sitting in bed, drifting off to sleep, wakes up suddenly, Canada. Yeah. I forgot Canada.
So I was like, you got to be kidding me. And that's not advertised on their website. So I went back on, and I sent them a letter, and they said, because they have a no return policy. And I said, well, no way, you're taking this back. And I sent them a little email, and they wrote back, and they said, yes, we've discontinued shipping to Canada. And I'm like, well, since when? 2 days ago? Because I got one here. So anyway, I sent it back, and that's that. So that was very disappointing. So my 1 year challenge of the dumb phone is no more. But on another note, I ordered a large stock knife. I have a smaller stock knife here behind me. Yep. So I got the big boy, the big clogger's knife. This thing's like 4 feet long.
Wow.
And I was very excited because that was coming. And I got notification one day at work, and it's been delivered. I'm like, woohoo, fantastic. Come home to I was gonna wrap it and put it under the tree for myself, and it wasn't there.
Oh.
I said, what? It's been delivered. So I went on, and then of course did all the tracking, whatever. Yeah, it was delivered to Virginia, USA.
So it sounds like light phone and this knife company has their wires crossed.
So Merry Christmas to me. This guy, because it comes from Ukraine, and I mean, he was good enough to deal with, but long story short, either he gave me the wrong tracking number or whatever it is, but our communication back and forth wasn't that great. And again, refunded my money, no problem, but no stock knife, no knife, no phone.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man.
So anyway, but that's fine. Yeah. That's fine. Didn't need anything anyway. So.
And the last thing we need is more stuff. Actually, one of the comments we got, I won't read it, but he said that he tried to ask for perishables like food and snacks because the last thing he needs is more stuff to throw in his basement. And he said the one physical item he asked for was a particular knife with a brand, description of the tool size, all the dimensions and everything. And he said they still just ended up buying him some cheap folding knife on Amazon that he couldn't use
that's the worst.
Worth anything. So
people that it hasn't happened to me for years, but I remember back when I was starting to carve, people said, oh, you're a wood carver, and they just see something, oh, that'll carve wood. And, they give junk. So much junk out there. So but as far as the first week too, I went off of social media with the light phone switch. I went off social media. I actually went right off of Instagram. And for I don't know 10 days or whatever, and that was a very nice reprieve, nice break. But in the meantime, what was happening? I'm trying to remember the being offline, but it was did you ever get phantom rings or notifications or from your phone?
Totally.
They don't stop. I wasn't even carrying my phone anymore, and so that's how your body is so used to having that phone in your pocket all the time.
No, it's true.
Yeah, but in that time though, I didn't do any carving, didn't make any videos or anything, and it was just nice. Nice. And actually really made me think about going forward what I'm going to focus more on, but that'll come out down the road. But
Right.
things aren't, I'm not going to do things the same way as I did last year.
Yeah. Did you get any carving done at all?
Oh, I didn't do any carving at first, but I guess after, maybe between Christmas and New Year's, I was a carving maniac. Did all kinds of different carving. I don't know. No audio sucks, but I have a couple things here. But made some goofy wood spirits. I did one. I burnt one too. I did the old Alec technique, and I burnt one.
Cool.
And that was fun. And I just put out a video 2 days ago. Well, here's a little Basswood Whale. I was trying to work on some kind of a tutorial. It's kind of a fun little project, but it's not going to be a one knife project.
Right.
You cannot, without the sharp edges or sharp corners, get that tail. You kind of need a gouge to round that tail bottom.
Right.
So I'm not sure if I can do that or not. I like the idea of keeping the tutorials knife only.
Yep.
But I mean, in this case, maybe we'll get by. But I put out a video just yesterday of the hidden, like the hiding wood spirit, like the half face wood spirit.
Yeah, that's huge.
And yeah,
nicely painted.
It was fun. It was a fun project, and it was kind of cool because not everybody likes their wood spirits painted.
Yeah.
But the one comment I got right away was like, as soon as I saw you getting out the paint, I cringed because I don't like them painted. But he said the end result is fantastic, and I agree. I like how this particular piece of bark has a lot of white on it. So I didn't want that dark face. I wanted kind of to blend a little bit with the wood. So
right,
like he's part of it. So yeah,
that was a good call.
I was pleased with that one. But how about you? You done much?
Yeah, I mean, I did take a little bit of a break. Of course, I was out of town for a few days, about a week. But I worked on a green man for a gentleman who, actually a lady, as a gift for a gentleman. And I won't say who it is because I'm concerned that they might be listening to this podcast. But anyway, that being said, yeah, a friend of a friend commissioned a piece, and they were in from out of town. Trying to be careful here. Yeah. Tread softly, because I found out recently he might be a listener. So anyway, so did that. Green man's coming your way, bud, whoever you are. And who knows when, who knows from who, but one of you should be expecting one. And that summarizes basically what I did before Christmas. It was just that and buttoning up some stuff for the school. And but yeah, I did some carving this past week on actually Christmas Eve of not Crazy Horse, Wild Buffalo Bill. And that I finished up today. Actually, I need to put a clear coat on him, but I've just been putzing around with him. And of course it takes longer, as you know, when you're filming a project to do it. And so I broke it down into multiple steps, but the video is like 3 hours of, it's like, it's a lot.
I'll confess, I did watch part 1 on the school.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And it was, yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to seeing part 2.
Yeah. So, yep, that'll be available on the school page. And actually now it's already available. So I did that. The green man. I'm working on another green man today. I found one that I wasn't too happy with on a shelf here, and I mounted it up to the fixture board, and I started carving off all the paint that I did on it from months and months back. I don't like how I painted it. No, I've never been a great painter on these carvings, so yeah, just making that as a gift for a friend. And I'm sure there are other things I'm forgetting.
I have yet to do a green man. I've never done a green man.
Yeah.
In fact, I love, and I always thought that'd be like one of the first things I'd ever carve, because I think they're so cool looking. But I've never even tried one.
Well, they're really fun to carve because you can kind of take them any direction you want to. The big downside to it is, and I'm finding with this one, is, all the undercutting. So if you got a lot of leaves, you've got to do a lot of stuff underneath the leaf to make it look nice and thin and standing up from the background. And so it's like, So I was getting the
Yeah.
Dremel out today, and I absolutely hate the Dremel. But I am making a YouTube video about it, and I'm kind of going with more of a blog format because there's this kid on YouTube, which I guess I'll probably talk about him as somebody I've been listening to. So maybe I'll hold off on that thought. But anyway, so I'm kind of trying a different format for fun little YouTube videos. But yeah, so but no, it's a pain in the butt. With Green Men can be, but the simpler design makes it more fun actually. So that's my advice to people who haven't started carving green men yet and they want to, is keep it simple.
Do you ever go back and like research your subject matter?
Yeah, a little bit. I did that especially with some of the Native American carvings that I was doing, like of Lone Wolf and yeah, there were Sitting Bull and those. Yeah,
I would hate to get caught like I wouldn't want to carve some meaningful pagan idol or something. That's what I thought of with the Green Man. You don't know what the backstory is on the Green Man.
yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, I can tell you the gist of it. It's basic, and there are different accounts, and that's kind of the enigma of, they call it the enigma of the Green Man, is that he shows up in Asia Minor, over 1,000 years ago, and then into medieval European architecture, and especially the churches. They start to adopt this thought to be kind of a druid symbol, and they put it into their kind of architecture. And I guess they did that with a lot of other things that were pagan, a lot of pagan imagery, to draw non-believers into the church. So they, of course, as they do, turned the green man into a Christian symbol. So the leaves represent, oftentimes coming from the mouth, it would represent the Holy Spirit coming out of the mouths of the apostles at Pentecost. And so you'd
really,
see birds and branches, and yeah, so they kind of took it and ran with it.
There's so much of that kind of stuff. Even the fan birds had a Holy Spirit meaning, like hang them in your house kind of a thing. There's always some connotation, but
yeah,
no,
that's cool. So before we get too deep into nerd talk, is it about time to get to the featured artist segment?
If you want to do featured artists first, we will certainly do that.
Yeah. Oh, but
I'm not. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to blow my train whistle, because we've learned that doesn't quite work. So
right.
We'll have to think of a new way to introduce the featured artist, because train whistle just blows out the gain in the mics.
It's just like you hear the first 2 seconds of it, and it goes away.
But I'm glad we're doing this, because I'm super excited with this one. I very rarely do I buy someone else's stuff. Not because I don't like it, I don't appreciate it. It's just like, man, where would I put it? What do I do with it? But I've been watching this guy for a couple months, and I just had to get what he was offering. Now, he is a UK spoon carver. I would say it would be his main thing. He's a spoon carver, but he started carving dragons, and I had to have one. And I'll even go so far as to say I wish I had invented this design, because I would give up everything and just carve these dragons. But alas, there's not mine. But I will show you, because I got it in the mail yesterday. And here is my dragon.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm guessing it's probably carved in birch, and it's so fun. So I haven't named him yet. It is the Woodworm UK. Woodworm, worm spelled WYRM, and you'll find him on Instagram. But these little dragons, this has got to be one of the coolest designs of anything I've ever seen, and I just love it. And I'm gonna have to find a good home for this dragon.
Yeah,
it will be Doug, father of dragons. But
he's very cute.
Super cool, super cute. I love it. I just love it.
Well, keep talking. I'm gonna go grab the art piece for my featured artist really quick here. It's right across the room.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's his. Like I said, that's Woodworm UK, and I believe his main thing is spoon carving, but he does some other different types of carving. So yeah, look him up. Oh, here's his name. His name's Dave. Dave the Woodworm. So there you go. And I'm glad I'm back on Instagram for that reason, that I can highlight people. I didn't miss that. I was actually when I was off Instagram, I was thinking like, well, how am I going to do the featured artists? So so I'm back on Instagram too. So what do you got there?
So this is from a friend of mine, actually a guy that I was next to at an art show this past year. Tyler Voorhees. I think it's a Dutch name, so I'm gonna ruin it. But well, you would know. Oh, is it Dutch? I don't know. Voorhees.
I don't know about that.
Voorhees. Anyway,
it's gotta be close.
Yeah, he does these really cool paintings. Let's see if you can see it. But no, for those who are...
describe it well anyway.
Yeah, so there's it's a picture of it's called the Milkmaid, and it's of course a maid milking a cow in sort of kind of a plain environment, but not quite a farm environment. It almost looks like I don't know. It almost, yeah, I guess it could be a farm, but it almost looks like a metal room.
But he painted that. That's painted.
Yeah, so he paints it, and he always includes an element of the modern world in with an element of the old world. And anyway, he's got an interesting artist description and reason for painting, but I just like the way his artwork looks, and I appreciate his skill. So Tyler Voorhees, Voorhees art. And so he'll do these cool things where he'll put like he'll have like a lamp lighter, the old lamp lighters on their big tall bicycles, and then he'd have next to that an electrical line. So if you look at it quickly, you'll look past the fact that there weren't electrical lines back when the lamp lighters were around. But
I like that having a little twist in there.
Yeah,
that's kind of fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Great guy, such a great sweet dude. So him and his wife
is he
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram?
Yeah, he is. Let's see if I can pull it up. So it's Tyler, as I said, Voorhees, Voorhees art. And this is his stuff. He also does these kind of like Giacometti, like elongated figures, like so. So pretty cool. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Nice.
Anywho.
Well, is it time? Is it time? He's reaching behind his back and he's pulling out his... There you go. Mailbag. Oh, that was the worst.
That was good. Come on, I like that one.
All right. So we have an abundance of mail today. So we will skip through and maybe highlight some there, Alec.
Yeah. There's a few questions that we've gotten multiple times before, and I'll kind of skip over those. But anyway, of course, lots of nice folks saying things like "We miss you" and "Come back," and Alex, our favorite, and all that good stuff. But
I can't imagine anyone said that. But
yeah, it's crazy. I had to delete a lot of them because I felt bad for you. So,
that was your mother. That's right. That was the one your mom sent in.
It's kind of an unnecessary part of that story, but anyway, so this is Mike. He says that he's trying super glue and is wondering what I think he's talking to me because he says Alex used super glue on bark, and what is my approach to using super glue on bark carvings, and that's basically to soak the rotten fibers with a thin glue if you have it. Of course, I don't always have it, so I use a thicker glue if necessary, but thin glue penetrates the wood grain and solidifies the grain of the wood. And so you can carve on that area that you soaked. And then you can spray it with an accelerator, of course.
Now, if you are in part of Alex's school, the fundamentals of wood carving, you will see the super glue in action on Buffalo Bill.
Oh man,
I was amazed. I have never done what you did there. I'm for the listener, Alec went to town with the super glue.
Yeah, drenched it.
Like you really drenched it, and just to make that wood solid so it didn't chip and flake. And when you're all done, you didn't have a clue. You just made that wood tougher and to hold more detail, I guess, and not flake off.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I was impressed. Yeah, I was impressed. That was the way when you went at that, I was like, oh, he's gonna wreck it, but no, looks good.
Well, thanks. So these are just comments moving past. Painting suggestion for using oil paint thinned with turpentine. This is from Ingwe. So thanks for that, Ingwe. This is
Hey,
Rebecca.
well,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Oh,
I don't
really?
use oil paints. It's probably a good idea. It's probably a better quality, perhaps,
Mhm.
but I want everything bang, bang, bang done. And I
Right.
don't think the old hair dryer, like I do on the water base for the quick dry and move on to the next color, I don't think that works with oil. I know it doesn't work with oil.
No.
So it's a
No.
it's a slow dry.
Yeah. No
So
doubt. No doubt. This is a question from Rob Cox. Or Acox. Sorry, I really butchered people's names. I apologize. Acox. That was me not even reading properly. But he says, Alec Doug, Happy New Year, love the show. Look forward to every week. And I come to carving from, surprise, Alec, not Doug.
wow.
Just kidding, he says. It was Doug. Had a few questions, if you don't mind, and some comments. So the first one is, how long does cottonwood bark and basswood last? He said he acquired some bark and he noticed that had been sitting around for a while and it was brittle, and still a joy, but brittle. So with regards to power stropping, he asks about if we have any inexpensive alternatives to the really fancy power strop systems. And then he finally asked if we have any tips for finishing cottonwood bark and if we've tried walnut oil. Yeah. So these are his comments.
Wow. There's three questions there, is there?
Yeah. So
what am I
about
gonna
you?
take? I'll take the alternative to power strop.
Yeah.
Hand strop.
Yeah. Right.
I always said, even when I made my power stropping video, I kept saying the whole time, you don't need this.
Right.
This is nice. You don't need this.
Yep.
It's only a couple minutes extra and you can strop by hand. Even with contoured blades, you can, there's different forms of strops, and you can use the backside. You can make a gouge work, even either way. Like there's many different hand strops, very affordable, and that's your alternative for sure. Because what else is there? And like I said, it's just a few minutes.
No doubt.
It's relaxing even.
Yeah, absolutely.
I never mind stropping by hand.
No. And so to his other questions, as far as walnut oil, I haven't used it. Not experienced with it. I like to use Daft lacquer. I used a brush on lacquer. And with regard to, what was his other question? He was wondering about age of bark. I've not had any issues. I think if you let bark sit around in like a dry environment, you're probably going to have more issues with a drier bark than with one that's been in a consistently, decently humid environment. Nothing too crazy. You don't want anything above 10% probably in the bark itself. But most of the bark I carve is pretty dry. So
walnut oil is to me is a very light oil, real penetrating oil. So it's probably not something you use as a finish. But if you don't like the idea of linseed oil, well, you know what I don't like with oils at all is that depending on the type of bark you carve, when you put the oil on, it just darkens it so quickly.
Yeah.
Like I shifted more to a wax in a matte, even a matte spray, just to not penetrate and bring out that dark. I mean, depends what you're carving, if you want that or not. But some of the carving gets so rich and almost too dark sometimes with just the oils.
Yeah. So. No, I agree. It soaks in. Here's another question from Ed. He was the gentleman I mentioned earlier who got the Amazon folding knife gifted to him. And he turns around and asks us if we like to use folding knives for carving. What do you think?
Well, I've answered this one before. I have or own a pocket carver. This is by a Great Eastern Cutlery. It's a beautiful little knife. In fact, it is their main carving knife that they sell, and it has 3 blades on it. And I even sent this knife to Helby Knives, and they reground it to be a super whittler.
Oh, cool!
This is a fantastic little carving knife, and at the end of the day, can't stand it.
Yeah.
I'm not there's a time and a place, and if you just want to pick up a stick and have at it, go for it. But I do not like I got, I got bigger paws, and I just prefer a fixed blade.
Totally.
And that said, what's the purpose of a pocket knife? Like my pocket knife that I carry, like during the course of a day, it'll cut all different kinds. I'm cutting cardboard, I'm cutting tape, I'm cutting plastic, I'm cutting. You don't want that as a pocket knife, a
Sure.
nice carver. You want that carving knife to just carve wood.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
So I don't. And that said, if I just took a knife, just in a little sheath or whatever, it's not a big deal,
right,
to carry a fixed blade.
No.
If you get a proper sheath for it or whatever. And to me, see the nice big handle, good
Yep.
purchase on it, and to me, it just feels better. But to each their own. Obviously, they make carving knives for a reason. I guess you just have to try it, see if you
Yep.
like it.
Yeah. So Nathan writes a nice message to us. He says, "Dear Derek and Andrew," he talks about how he came across our podcast and he's been glued to his device ever since. He appreciates the content and from our own channels and the Carving and Coffee podcast. So that being said, he talks about how he connects to his grandfather with wood carving, and he asks how we maintain our tools, and he says he's not talking about sharpening. He says that he's finding that his older tools have pitted, as I'm guessing he's left them aside for a while, and some have rusted. And he said he's used a little steel wool or sandpaper, but he's wondering if we ever deal with this issue.
Well, I know what he's talking about, but in this environment, in my carving room, I really don't do anything. It's always when I take them out, or in the field, or cut something wet. Another thing, like when I was growing up, our workshop had like just a wood stove, so all the steel would get cold in the winter, and you build a fire, and then it would heat up, and then they sweat, and then the tools would sweat, and then they would rust, and that's that moisture. And you really have to just kind of take a little rag, a little bit of even that little 3-in-1 sewing machine oil or whatever, and give it a little wipe, or that will keep the rust at bay. But
no doubt.
On a daily basis, I do nothing. It's only when I take them out, or like we talked about before too, when you carve a pumpkin, you better take care of your tools, because that'll rust them pretty quick.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Or you could dip them all in mustard and put a nice patina on them.
Ooh. Mustard.
Mustard will give you a nice patina.
Mustard. I'm gonna have to try that. I have to let you go then, because that's I've got plenty of mustard. I've got to.
What else you got?
That's it. I mean, I kind of ran through. I got the gist of them. A lot of really nice messages, so we appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. That was there was a lot of nice comments. Some of you bought us coffee. We always appreciate when you buy us coffee. And if I can ask one thing of you guys, and I'm sure Alec feels the same way, like we would like this podcast to grow. So don't be afraid to share it. And let's get a bigger audience going, and give it some gusto in the new year, and let's make this thing work.
Maybe we ought to think about starting an Instagram page for the Coffee and Carving Show one day.
Well, I thought about that, but then let's discuss live.
Yeah.
Live discussion. What are you gonna put on it? Your ugly mug every week, like with a microphone in front of it? I don't know what kind of photos we could share.
Who knows? I guess some of the photos that people send us from the email, there's a lot of carvings that people are sharing. This was one from Cindy. This is a carving that her grandpa gave her when she was 12. I don't know. Hey, give us a comment if you want to see that. If you don't want to see that, then nix it right away, because we're not going to be hurt.
Well, this is what I'll tell you right off the bat. Very easy for me to say. I have no interest.
Yeah.
But if you want Alec to run a Instagram page, I'm telling you, the internet, I'm not letting it take over my life anymore.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just If you want to
If
see
you'd like the
what
internet
we're
to
up
take a little bit more of my life than it already does, please request in the comments below.
Yeah. Well, no, it's so funny, you know. Like I make these videos, and there is, I don't know. I think the it's just saturated with stuff now.
I know it.
The effort to put into videos these days and the payback is so small. Like, I don't think I have to. I'm not whining. I'm just saying, like, the effort it is to make a video compared to 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, less views all around, and there's just so much competition. And what are you doing?
Outro music.
Alec wants to play the piano. Or play the piano. What am I saying? The guitar. Good gravy. Are we done?
How do you know I do want to play the piano?
But we're not done.
Well, that's why it's fading out slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we have that segment of what you've been watching, what you've been reading, learning. You forgot that part, didn't you?
No, I didn't. This was my intro to that. So now what?
Now what?
No, I did forget it.
I know you did. Yeah, I figured you did. Before we say goodbye, Alec, what have you been filling your life with that you want to share with the audience? So everybody just sit back and take a moment. Listen to Alec play us out.
Really, it's just been a lot of, nonsense YouTube videos. I started, like I was talking about earlier, alluding to, I started watching this kid named Maverick. He's a camper. Have you seen him?
I know Maverick.
Do you? Car camping and stuff.
Yeah.
I like watching him. And so he's kind of inspired me to make a more casual. This most recent YouTube video will be about fixing a green man. And it's going to be kind of more casual, a little bit more all the filler junk that's happening in between. And so I like that style of I like vlogs, the short vlogs, like who's there, Emma Chamberlain, those like little
no, you've always loved Emma Chamberlain.
Yeah, the 10-minute vlog style thing is, it doesn't matter what it is, especially if it's far away from what my daily life is. I like it.
Yeah. And it's hard to accept, because I always, when I make a video, I want there to be substance.
Yeah.
And I keep saying that. And then as soon as I say that, somebody will email and say, we'd watch you watch paint dry. It's not about what you're doing. It's about your personality, which I find ridiculously hard to believe.
Man,
right?
That's a stretch.
You're right.
Your personality, they said?
Yeah, right? It'd be like listening to a podcast with two goofballs. But yeah, Maverick, if you like Maverick, I'm going to give you another name to go with that. Foresty Forest. Maverick, those are two of my actually they occupy most of my my excitement when in my subscription feed when I get them. Foresty Forest lives in a van, and I called it. He just put in the little tiny wood stove in his van, and I just like him. He's down in the States now. He's a Canadian guy.
Wait, how do you spell that? Is it just Forest? Forest?
Why?
Oh, Foresty Forest.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, and it's just fun. It's just nice to see travel. Maybe I'm living vicariously through him.
Right. Well, it's easier than having to do all that stuff.
Just like the scooter guy that I watched for 2 weeks travel around the world on his C90.
Yeah,
but
that's fun.
Yeah. So what
have you been up to?
What have I been listening to? I'm listening. That's what I'll give you that. When I was carving, we had gloomy days and just kind of in holiday mode. And you know what I did? And if I told my 18-year-old self what I'm about to tell you, I would probably punch myself in the face. But I got this tune-in radio. It's a multi. It's called tune-in radio. It's a internet radio.
Okay.
But they have thousands of radio stations, and anyway, long story short, I found an ABBA only station.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All ABBA all day. Do you know? And like I said, I listening to ABBA when I was a kid was so uncool.
Yeah.
But it's happy music, and it's just when you start carving or something, you put on some happy music, your mood changes.
Totally.
Like it's just nice to have music and happy music on a gloomy day and carving, and nothing matters. Yeah. So, like I said, I would probably punch my 18-year-old self in the head for saying that instead of some heavy metal, whatever. But nice music.
Well,
so there you go.
For me, it's been Gordon Lightfoot too. Like, I just got back into. I mean, it's perfect. Like winter indoors carving music. There's nothing better. So
yeah. On a cold, rainy night. That's a Gordon Lightfoot.
No, that's awesome. So,
well, thanks for waiting it out for us to come back, and I think this was kind of fun to get back at it and get our bearings again. And like always, if you have any suggestions for topics, discussions, or whatnot, and we'll take them at email is. I can put you on the spot.
And carving show at gmail.com.
Say it again.
Coffee and carving show at gmail.com.
Not the coffee and carving show.
No, yeah.
That's right. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. I want to say goodbye, but I know you're going to try and throw in that stupid take your vitamin crap. So,
he stole it from me. Take your vitamins, folks.
All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.